We finally hit 50,000 subscribers. First off, I want to say thank you guys so much for supporting me. I never thought we would make it. But here we are. For my 50,000 subscriber video, I'm going to do a Q&A about me. I asked you guys here on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter to ask me questions about myself or anything about Pokemon, and I will answer them on this video. While I answer your question, I'm going to be building this Groudon that my friend David gave me, so shout out to him. I'm going to start with Twitter first. From BINDRZ TCG, if you had to choose a moment in your Pokemon playing journey that stands out as the moment you knew you wanted to continue, pursue this path, what was that moment? I believe it was actually my first time getting day 2 at my second ever regional, and it was in Orlando. I forgot the year. I think it was like 2023. I could be wrong, but that was my first time making day 2, which is a pretty big deal at a regional, and that's when I really wanted to try to go to Worlds, which I was planning to this season, but they changed the whole system. Therefore, we're not making it to Worlds, but we are going as a creator. So make sure if you guys are gonna be there, if you see me, make sure you come up and say hi and say what's up. I should probably open all these first before I start answering questions. All right, can I finish this before I answer all the questions? Question number 2 is from BINDRZ. Shout out to her. She's also a friend of mine, and she's been in one of my vlogs. So if you guys haven't seen that, make sure you guys go check that out. I have the link of, I believe it was Toronto vlog. But her question is, first off, she said highest quality TCG content. So thank you so much, Becca. The question is, what's your favorite deck you played of all time? And that has to go to Rapid Strike Urshifu. That is my first deck that I played. It was decent. It was really good when it first came out, which was when I started playing. And then Mew VMAX came out. Mew destroyed that, and then eventually got better as TM Devo came out, plus the Yoga Loop and all that. So we were able to win even if we were up against a Psychic type Pokemon, because we did run Inteleon VMAX. But yeah, that is my favorite deck. What's been your favorite regional vlog since starting your channel? My favorite regional vlog, we just spoke about it, is actually Toronto's vlog. Probably the longest vlog that I did, but it was the second vlog. And I felt like the first one, obviously I feel like usually for your first vlog, it's never like the best. And then the second one, I try a little harder, and we got to collab with a few other creators slash players that are very well known in the community. So that was really cool. We got to meet with Raul, Becca, and Sneaker Talk. So shout out to them for appearing on my vlog. So it's very cool for sure. We're moving on to YouTube now. There's a lot, so I'm gonna try to kind of quickly go over a lot of them. From Galvin Supenget, sorry if I'm saying that wrong. He has a lot of questions. I'm gonna try to speed run this. What's your favorite deck for each era? I only played since Sword and Shield, so Sword and Shield is Rapid Strike Urshifu, and Scarlet and Violet, I think has to be Gholdengo EX, and a little bit of Flygon EX, even though it's not really meta, but I still like Flygon. It's my favorite Pokemon, which I think a lot of you guys asked me that, so Flygon is my favorite Pokemon. Can you please play Decidueye? We'll see about that. Do you love Rowlet? I don't love it. It's a cool Pokemon though. Which one do you prefer, Pokemon TCG Online or Pokemon TCG Live? I think I like Live better just because I can craft everything and I don't have to use code cards to get all this credit to craft the cards back in the Pokemon TCG Online, even though Live is very laggy. But yeah, which starter is your favorite? I think my favorite starter has to be, that's a really hard question. It depends on the generation, but I'm gonna go with Trico. What's your favorite grass starter? Okay, that's kind of answer that, Trico. Do you watch anime in Japanese dub or English dub? I watch anime in Japanese with subbed. What is your favorite grass flying Pokemon? Not sure. I didn't think about this, but my favorite Pokemon is Flygon and Scyther. Shout out to Flygon and Scyther. What bird Pokemon do you like? I don't have a favorite bird Pokemon. Maybe I should. That's all. I hope you answered the question. All right, moving on to question number 2. What made you want to do Pokemon TCG YouTube? And what advice would you give to someone who wants to start one? I want to start one, but I'm a bit unsure. From Val's Venue. So honestly, I actually started in TikTok. I was just posting a lot of pack openings during COVID time. That's when I started collecting again. And then it eventually it picked up a little bit. A lot of people were watching. I got a few like 1,000 views at that time, which I believe I was already like, oh my gosh, I'm getting so many views. Like 3,000 is a lot if you think about it. But of course it's on TikTok, so those 3,000 views is not the most, but regardless, I kept posting, and eventually one of the videos that I made got like 100,000s of views, and I was like, okay, this is maybe Pokemon content is a thing for me. And then eventually I kind of got into YouTube just because I feel like TikTok will not be around, especially right now. We don't know if it's getting banned and whatnot, all that. And I want to convert everybody over here to YouTube. And eventually, hopefully I hit 100K sub. We're here right now with 50K. But if there is any advice I would give to someone that wants to create content, just in general, it's just to be consistent and just understand that it is a lot of work. It's constantly like, I'm recording, I'm thinking of ideas, I'm making, oh, okay, it's on. But yeah, it's a lot of work. It's 24/7. You're just creating content. You're thinking about ideas. You're editing. Editing actually takes probably the most amount of time for me, even though it's probably my favorite thing. I don't like filming, but I do like editing. But yeah, just be consistent. Just know it's a lot of work and just keep at it. And eventually it will hit. It's a lot harder to do this than I thought. I was like, I'm going to do something really easy while I answer questions. And it's hard to look, hard to read the questions, hard to think of the question or the answer. But we're almost there, kind of. We got the head, look kind of goofy. All right, next question from Tornado de FC. He has two questions, actually. The first one is, what do you recommend first-time Pokemon TCG players that want to go competitive start by doing? Just focus on one deck first. Play that deck, know all the matchups, understand everything. And then as you get more comfortable, start playing other decks, because once you play other decks, you know how to play against that deck once you do face it. And then, like I said, just keep playing, go to your locals, attend challenges, go to cups, and then eventually go to a regional. It's not that scary. It's actually really fun. Everyone's really competitive, yet everyone's still having a good time, enjoying themselves. Everyone's so nice. And once you get started playing at a regional, I feel like, I don't know, it depends on the person, but I'm very competitive. So my first time in a regional, I got so hooked right after. I was like, I want to keep going. I want to get better. And yeah, just keep playing. And then of course, watch videos like mine and other great content creator out there to get better knowledge of other decks and what's going on in the meta and all that good stuff. Oh, he actually has 3 questions actually. So question number 2 is, when and how did you first begin your Pokemon TCG path? I think I already mentioned this earlier, so I'm not gonna answer that. Actually, no, I didn't mention it earlier. So I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I like Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot when I was younger, so I was playing that competitively. Didn't do too well. I did decent at locals, went to regionals and all that, didn't do so well. And then eventually the game got stale, so I switched over to Pokemon. Well, I actually started collecting Pokemon first, or got back into collecting Pokemon. It's a long story, but I started collecting Pokemon with my friend Steven, and he told me, or me and him both decided like, hey, we have a bunch of bulk, let's start playing. So that's when it kind of started. So just from, I guess, collecting the cards. And then number 3 was, how was your first ever regional? It was horrible. I played Lost Box with the amazing rares, which is like Rayquaza and Raikou. And playing Lost Box, if you guys are watching and you guys remember Lost Box, it's a very hard deck to pilot. I did not know what deck checking was. I did not know just anything in general. So I misplayed a lot. I Mirage Gate, and then I realized I don't have the energy there, or I should have like Super Rod back some energies and all that. So yeah, it was not a good time, but I had a great time. I like a fun time. It's a great learning experience for sure. So definitely go to a regional if you guys can. There's a lot of questions about like different decks and like what deck is good. I won't be answering that, even though I asked you guys to ask me anything, but there's a lot of that. So just watch my videos, kind of see what deck is good, what deck is not. But yeah, all right, move on to the next question. This one's from Clement. You guys probably have seen him from the vlogs and some videos, but he asks, who's your favorite X3 member? Top 3. All I gotta say is, I love every single one of you guys. X3 for life. Next question is from Specimen99 or 9661. Any plans to collab with other Pokemon TCG creators? If so, who are the top name of your head? I would love to collab with anybody. I am attending NAIC Plus Worlds, so hoping to collab with a lot of creators from there. But there's none that I can really think of the top of my head. I do, For the Win TCG. I want to collab with him. He's a cool guy, very cool videos. His decks are pretty awesome. Tag For the Win TCG. Let him know we got the head done. Looking pretty good. Next question is from Big Moo 7101. Question is, which other competitive Pokemon TCG players do you follow for tips and advice, etc.? And what one Pokemon you wish, regardless of current cards, would have a meta deck in the future? TCG players that I kind of follow for tips and advice is, I for sure watch Raul's video. I'm on Twitter a lot, so I read a lot of other people tweeting out like decks and all that. So of course, Tord's up there. Azul, I watch his Uncommon Energy podcast. And what deck in the future, regardless of current cards, would have a meta deck in the future? I really want to, I was never around, but I want a Flygon deck that's meta, or a Scyther deck that's meta. Or what if would they just work well together, both of those cards? Hopefully a Mega Flygon should be coming out, I hope, right? Pikachu37 asked me, did you attend college? If so, what school and major? I actually did attend college. I went to University of Central Florida. My major during that time was health science, graduated with that. And then I actually attended community college called Valencia College, and I was doing that under the major of graphic design. Graduated with that, so we're doing that now. Graphic designer / Pokemon YouTuber. Next question is from Flake JKOB. Congrats on 50K. Thank you so much. Thank you for supporting me. Your question is, what do you think was the most annoying deck ever? For me, it was, I think it was Coffin during Sword and Shield era. I'll have the card up right here, but that deck, I think it's like item lock, or it was like couldn't retreat, something like that, but I did not. Every time my opponent flipped that card up, I was like, all right, I don't want to play this. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I lost to that deck every time, and it's very annoying to deal with. Worse than Badoo in my opinion. Actually, Badoo might be pretty bad because you can attack and a free retreat. Got the lobster looking body. This one's from Gator IX Gaming. Got any advice for people who don't know what deck to main or to choose from? I think if you're starting out, I would just pick a deck that maybe is your favorite Pokemon, or Pokemon that you think is cool. And then if you're a little more advanced, kind of like understand the game more, I would say find a deck that's somewhat meta relevant and kind of fits your playstyle. There's like, there's wall decks, there's control decks, there's like Unga Bunga decks where you just want to like just knock out Pokemon left and right, doing big damage like Raging Bull or even like Goldango. Or if you want like a more skillful deck choice, like find the deck that has a lot of sequencing like Gardevoir, or even like, I know Lost Box not there anymore, but like Lost Box, all that. But yeah, just try to find a deck that you think is fun. Next question is from Excellent980. Are you Asian? Yes, I am Vietnamese. I was born there. I lived there till I was 7 years old. Then I moved to the US, of course. Now we're moving on to questions on Instagram. This one's from Crustle72. You going to New Orleans? Yes, I'll be there for NAIC. I will be competing, and not sure what deck I'm playing yet. So there's a question for that, which I'm pretty sure there is. I don't know yet. We'll figure that out in a few weeks. But yeah, I hope I see a lot of you guys there. If you guys see me, like I said, come say hi to me. I would love to talk to you guys, and I appreciate you guys. So like, I just want to thank you guys for watching the content, of course. Next question is from Mikey J Win 78. Shout out to Mike. He's actually been supporting me since I've been on TikTok from the very beginning. And his question is, what set do you think is most undervalued? I think for Scarlet and Violet era, I would have to say it's Temporal Forces. I like the Paradox dogs and all the legendary that are ancient and future type Pokemon. We're actually doing this a lot quicker than I thought. It's actually not that much. It's like a lot of the pieces are really big. This one's from Tree Trunks 19. His question is, what's your favorite generation? Better be a good reason. My favorite generation is Hoenn. Yeah, I think it's Hoenn. It's hard to choose, but I think Hoenn, I like the starters. Flygon is there, which is one of my favorite Pokemon. My favorite Pokemon was Scyther growing up, but then I remember watching one of the movies, Flygon was in it, and I fell in love with Flygon, and I played the game. I didn't play as much. I did not have a Nintendo 3DS or 3D or Game Boy Advance, all that. So I was playing it on an emulator, and that was my first game I played. It was in Japanese. Didn't finish the game because of course I can't read Japanese, but yeah, I think it's probably my favorite. Next question is from It's Yumi. It's actually my friend Bao. Shout out to him. He actually makes music. If you guys want to go check him out on Instagram. The question should be around here and his handle. His question is, what kept you going in the beginning phase? For me, in the beginning, I was just posting just to post. It was fun, of course. I was like, I'm opening packs. Why not just record it and post it? What kept me going was actually just because it started ramping up, like I said earlier in the other questions I answered. I felt like I got a lot of people that were interested in my opening. I did pack openings really fast. I made sure I got to the point, straight to the hits. I think a lot of people enjoy that, and a lot of people comment, a lot of people not subscribe, follow me on TikTok. I grew like 10,000 followers within like a month or so. And then, yeah, I kind of plateau. I'm at 50,000 now. Yeah, what kept me going is honestly the viewer base, you guys. Another thing that I remember is that I was sick, I believe like a month or so ago, and I was still creating content on YouTube. I remember someone commenting saying, I was sick while I was recording, so I was coughing. So I said, excuse me, sorry for my cough, I'm sick. Someone commented saying, hey dude, if you're sick, just take a break, rest up, we'll be here, like don't worry about it. So things like that really gets me going and keeps me wanting to create content, of course. I hope that answers the questions. Next question is from Kenzo Thien, Vietnamese name. Shout out to all my vid bros out there. His question is, have you ever planned to travel to Vancouver, Canada, and attend the regional tournament there? I will eventually go there. I do want to visit Vancouver, whether it's for Pokemon or just like vacationing / like exploring a new country / city. Oh, we got the body together. Looking pretty good. Oh, no. From Cheeto Rob, his question is, who taught you to play? I kind of taught myself, but I watched a lot of YouTube videos. Shout out to Torrid Reclive. I was actually looking up like best deck during that time, and Torrid Reclive was one of the videos for Rapid Strike. So I started watching him, learned a lot, and yeah, I just went to the locals a lot. But yeah, YouTube, I guess, is what taught me / Torrid Reclive. We're actually almost done building this, so I'm actually gonna try to speed run some of these questions now. How did you build your channel to really get on a roll when first starting? Like I said, just post consistently. I post on TikTok at least once a day. Sometimes I do miss it, but it's fine if you do. But like I said, I post once a day. On YouTube now I do twice a week. Used to be once a week, but as long as you keep consistency, people that enjoy your content will just comes back and start watching more of your videos. And yeah, consistency. From I'm Baby Poke. Shout out to her too. She's a content creator as well. Her question is, what's your favorite video you've created? My favorite video that I've created, that is a very hard question. I don't know if I have a favorite video, but I do enjoy making vlogs. I always want to keep creating vlogs and trying to make it better and more entertaining / enjoyable to watch. Always trying to edit better and just have a lot of good informational in those vlogs, as well as all the fun stuff you get to see me do during like the big events and all that good stuff. So just for vlogs, I think I would say Toronto vlog is my favorite. What is your opinion on the new upcoming Mega EX Pokemon, aka 3-prizer return? I started out, like I said, playing during Sword and Shield era during VMAX, so I'm used to the 3-prize, so I'm kind of excited. I like the idea of Mega Pokemon. I was never around during the first time it came out, so even though it's different now, I can't wait, and I'm really hoping they have Mega Flygon EX, and hopefully that's a decent card / deck. What's your least favorite deck archetype to play in the current meta? I hate playing against Raging Bolt. I feel like it's not a bad deck, but I just feel like it's so simple and it's just the same thing over and over again. Attack with Raging Bolt, knock out, try to boss up a 2-prizer / prime catcher. So yeah, I don't like playing against it, but sometimes I do play that deck, so I might be a hypocrite. When and why did you start playing / collecting Pokemon cards? I was collecting when I was younger. I love collecting things. I collected coins, stamps, all that good stuff. Yu-Gi-Oh cards first, and then it was a little bit of Pokemon, and then eventually I stopped Pokemon, focused on Yu-Gi-Oh, but I was still collecting in between. And then I got back into collecting Pokemon during COVID, and then I started playing during when Battle Style was released. And yeah, I've been playing ever since. From Anthony Lee 135, do you play any other card games? Like I said, I played Yu-Gi-Oh back then. I want to get into Digimon. A few of my friends like Carlos and Clement, they play One Piece. I never watched One Piece. I know the comments might hate me for that, but never got to watch it, so that's why I was never really into that card game. Played a little bit of Lorcana just to start out with my friends, and yeah, I don't think Hearthstone, if that counts as a card game, but yeah, I do enjoy card games for sure. Do you plan to compete in Europe? Yes, I am planning to compete in Europe eventually. EUIC for sure. Tips for deck building and your current favorite deck. My favorite deck right now is Greninja Blaziken. It's really fun to play, even though it's kind of off meta, but it's still pretty decent. Tips for deck building, I would just say it's okay to net deck. You can grab decks from content creators, pro players, anyone that posts their deck list, and play it, see what works for you, see what doesn't work, and adjust to that. But yeah, it's okay to net deck, especially when you're starting out. try to learn the deck and then see what can be improved, and you can add and switch cards out. How has the sponsor from the card shop helped you in playing? It has helped me a lot in playing and content creating. So yeah, of course, shout out to BINDRZ. They are sponsored for this channel. They're mainly sponsoring me as a content creator, but it kind of works out because I do play a lot competitively. It helps me a lot, one, because I get to create content for you guys and I don't have to break the bank. They do give me products whenever there's new products, and because of that, it helps my playing because I don't have to spend as much money on decks, just because with all those products, especially when they give me a booster box, I'm able to get most of the playable cards I need. At events like last time, what was the last? Atlanta Regional, I needed sleeves. They hooked me up with some sleeves. So of course, shout out to BINDRZ. I have all their links and their Instagram page / YouTube all in the description. Definitely go check them out. They are a big help to this channel. Next question is, what inspired you to start YouTube? I always wanted to do YouTube. When I was younger, in like high school, me and my friends, shout out to Austin, we were just making random ass videos. And then that, of course, we were kids. The videos was okay. It was funny looking back at it. And then in college, I did a lot of dancing videos. Like, I'm not the best dancer, I'm decent. So those didn't do it too hot. And then, like I said, Pokemon picked up a lot on TikTok, blew up, got a big following. Shout out to you guys, of course, and then able to transfer a good amount over here to YouTube. And then I also grew an audience here on YouTube because I feel like since I post on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, I have a pretty decent fan base. It just, everyone kind of uses different apps, you know? And the last question I have is from Puppet20P. Question is, favorite art card? That is a very hard question, but it has to be the Rocket Scyther, which I'll have in the screen. I think that's my favorite card / art. I know it's a little simple. It is like the older cards, so it doesn't have like full art and all that, but I still think simplicity is cool. It's very nice. And just as we wrapped up the last question, we are also putting the last parts of the Groudon, and we completed the Groudon. Look at that. Very nice looking big lobster. That is it for this video. It's a little different than usual. I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys learn a little bit more about me, or even just like Pokemon. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave a comment. I will definitely try to respond as fast as I can. You guys can literally ask me about anything, about myself, what I do, all that good stuff. I just want you guys to kind of like know who I am. You guys have been watching me for I don't know how many years. I've been on YouTube for 2 years now. So hopefully we kind of create like a bond here. And once again, I just want to say thank you guys so much for 50,000 subs. It really does mean the world to me, and it's only going to go up from here. We're going to hit 100K in no time. And like I said, I appreciate every single one of you guys. And yeah, that is it for this video. If you guys want to check out my other videos, I'll have it up right over here. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next video. Whoosh.